Morning. How's everyone doing? Just for the couple of people that are new to the group, I can't play music because it's when it goes to be played back or someone goes to watch it and catch up, Facebook will cut the sound off because of copyright and stuff apparently. So I've my own wee bit of music playing very quietly in the background, so if you do the same yourself, if you find some music that you like just to have on in the background instead of just listening to me waffling. Just the same as always there, the first person or two in, if you just let me know the sound and all's working okay. Then we'll make a start. Good to get over the technology hiccups from the other night. Hopefully. Okay, someone just give me a wee thumbs up here. Hopefully the volume's working, is it? Morning, Tizzy. How are you? Good. Sounds good. Thanks, Sinead. Right, I'll make a wee start here in about 30 seconds. I'll just give a few more people time to waken up, roll out of bed. We're starting on all fours. Again, anybody that was in the last block, if you have a wee foam roller, you can bring it into some of these exercises. You don't need it, but it can help facilitate or make some of these exercises feel a wee bit better or more challenging. I look like I'm very far away from the camera here now, but needs must. Bad hair day, you see. Okay, we'll be starting here on all fours this morning. And we'll take a wee minute or two just to make sure we're really well set up in this position. So with our hands underneath our shoulders, we'll work from a top-down kind of approach here. So with the hands underneath your shoulders and spread the weight through the base of your fingers as well. Don't just lean on the wrist or the heel of your hand. Try and spread a wee bit of weight right through the palm of your hands, a wee bit in the fingertips as well. Okay, and if you find when we're working in this position for a wee while, if you find your wrists get far too sore, bring your hands a wee bit further forward so it's not as sharp an angle on the wrist. If it's still getting too sore after that, just take a wee break, roll out the wrists and join in again. If it's still sore after that, just toughen up a wee bit. That's simple as that. That's the joke, obviously. Take breaks when you need to, etc. Okay, so hands under the shoulders. Take your shoulders, we're just going to shrug them up towards your ears just to get a feel for where they are, and then take them back away again from the ears. Looking for that nice length through the neck. Just shrug them up and pull them back. Okay, and then this next one's a wee bit more awkward. We're going to push ourselves away from the floor. You'll feel your back rounding out, your shoulder blades rounding out away from each other. And then imagine, without bending your elbows, imagine you're trying to bring your chest or your breastbone as close to the floor as you can. And at that, as you sink down, you should feel your shoulder blades drawn in together. So push up, rounding out your upper back, and sink back down again. It's a hard one to get a feel for a lot of people, but what you're effectively doing here is shrugging the shoulders back and rounding them out in front again. You're not bending your elbows in this one. It's just to get a feel for where your shoulder blades are. So bring your shoulder blades to a halfway point, somewhere neutral where the muscles in your upper back are engaged. Keep the shoulders back and away from your ears. We'll pull the chin up and in slightly, looking for that, trying to make that feeling of making a double chin, and we'll create that length through the back of your neck. Okay, glance back, your knees should be underneath your hips, just directly down. It's very easy to let the knees go too far back here like this. Want to keep the knees under your hips. And then we'll, like we did the other evening, start from the tailbone, pull in at the bum and reach back out again. Just roll up, allow it to work its way on up through the spine. And then from the bottom rib or the belly button, drop towards the floor again. So we're keeping that nice space between the shoulders and ears, keeping your shoulder blades just drawn slightly together, down in your back, towards your back pockets. And get that wee bit of flow through the spine first. So you might feel a wee bit of tightness here and there. You can add a wee bit of sideways movement if you like, just to get a feel for opening up and wakening up your back. But when we're ready, come into neutral position, so tucked in slightly at the tailbone, belly button pulled in quite tight. Okay, without letting your hips move really, so we don't want the hips wobbling side to side. We're going to take the right leg, reach it out behind, at the same time reach your left arm, the opposite arm out long in front. We're trying to do that without letting your back dip down in the middle, and without letting your hips drop or rotate up to the side. So the two hip bones stay nice and square with the floor. So we're bracing in quite tight. Reach out through your heel out behind, reach out long through the fingertips in front, pull the belly button up and in. Just feel a wee squeeze on the back side, on the leg that's reaching. We're squeezing at the glutes, but don't let your hips screw up to the side. Return to the centre without feeling much movement, so you shouldn't feel your whole body rocking over to one side because we've stayed in that neutral position. Going to go with your other arm and leg, so your left arm and right leg this time. Brace in nice and tight. And relax back into the centre. We're going to take a right hip or a right leg up to the side. We're trying to keep the right hip still. So bring your right knee up to the side and back down. Up to the side and back down. Just show you from a different angle. That's up to the side and back down. Trying to do that without screwing your lower back around. Excuse me. So working kind of to the end of your range of mobility without forcing it around. We're not letting our lower back cheat us around further into the movement. Come back to the centre, pull in at the tummy and go with your left leg. And relax. Okay, from here we'll sit back onto our heels, inch your fingertips long out in front, and just hold there for a few nice deep breaths. Breathe wide and deep into the rib cage and lower back, stretching out the lower back. So pull long deep breaths right up into the belly, open up the rib cage. And relax. Okay, we're set up here again. So those two movements so far, the wee sort of 2-point box position, or if you like to call it, or the hip circle up, or the hip twist up to the side. We're going to put them together here now in a wee second. Take a wee second, making sure we're finding that same setup. Hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips, pulled in at the belly button. We're going to bring your right leg up to the side then on the hip twist first, without letting the lower back screw around. Just bring the right leg up to the side, reach it out long behind and circle it back through the middle. Up to the side, reach out through the heel, circle it back through the middle. Just keep going with a few of these. So we're going to add a wee bit more movement here and stuff, and a wee bit of flow from one exercise to the next, but try and make sure we're keeping that core engaged. Try and keep the pelvis in neutral position. Let's keep that leg out long behind now. Reach the left arm out in front. Extend out through the heel behind, pull in at the belly button. We're going to return here and straight away just change arm and leg so that we're reaching out your right arm and left leg. So back onto the mat without your body shifting side to side. And change here. Hold in that position again. Keep the leg extended behind. Return your hand to the floor. And we're going to work the hip circle now in this left leg. So bring the knee up through the middle, up to the side, reach out long behind. Engage the core. Don't want your lower back starting to dip down every time we reach the leg out. You're squeezing out through the glutes, pulling in at the belly button at the same time. Let's keep the leg out there behind, belly button pulled in tight, reach the right arm out in front again. Pay attention to where your 2 hip bones are. They should be in the same position as they were at the very start, hopefully. So brace tight. We're going to change sides again to come into this position with your other arm and leg, but pay attention to your torso. We don't want it shifting side to side. So return to the mat with the hand and knee and extend your opposite hand and leg. Pull in at the tummy, hold it there and change again. Extend out, wee breath in to hold it. Breathe out to return. Breathe in to hold. And breathe out to change sides. Good. Try not to get too hung up on your breathing, but just pay attention to it. Make sure we're not holding our breath. Just changing sides here, nice and steady in your own pace, while keeping the pelvis in that neutral position, core, belly button pulled up and deep towards the spine. And relax. Okay, from here we're going to take that wee thread the needle exercise to open up our mid-back. Take your right hand in underneath your body. We're going to go with that bigger range of motion that we worked towards on Thursday, if you joined in. So instead of trying to keep the hips really square and fixed in that position, we're going to allow them to move a wee bit. The arm that you're leaning on, you can bend that elbow as we come down into the movement. The focus here is to bring this right arm through as much range as we can. That'll have the knock-on effect of rotating at the thoracic spine here, the mid-back, as much as possible. So take a wee breath in, follow that hand with your eyes, and as we breathe out, reaching on up, as big a range of motion as we can. And then take it up, open up the chest, so from collarbone to collarbone, as broad as we can. Reach it in underneath. You should feel that nice rotation through the back, hopefully. We'll come back to all fours again. We're going to change with our left hand now, in underneath the body. Bend your elbow and just go for big range of motion. Reach as far as we can with this one. Keep the belly button pulled in slightly, trying not to take any lower back strain. Follow that hand up with your eyes. And relax, okay? Last wee one here. Stand on our hands and knees just for another wee second. Curl the toes in towards you. Tuck the tailbone in, find that neutral position. Belly button pulled in quite tight. Shoulders back away from your ears. Wee breath in to get ready. Spread the weight through the hands, remember, not just in the heel of your hands. And on your breath out, lift the knees an inch off the floor. So the belly button pulled up towards the spine here. Feel that work around your midriff. I'm just going to stay here. If you'd like to make it harder, feel free. If you want to try lifting one leg out straight behind, alternating sides while keeping the core engaged, feel free. Progress it as you feel you need to. And relax. Okay, we'll sit back onto the heels again. Reach the fingertips long in front. And relax. We're going to work our way up into the standing position. So curl your toes towards you, bring your hands back towards the knees. Lift the knees an inch off the floor. And hang here at the bottom of that roll down. Feel that nice stretch through the back first of all. Hang here, just let go with the neck and shoulders. We're pulling at the belly button, roll the spine up tall to the top. Find that tall stacked up position at the top, alright, so find that neutral pelvis. Tailbone tucked in. I'll just recap on this actually, just to make sure everyone's set up properly. But want our feet and knees a bit hip width apart. Spread the weight through those 3 points of contact in each foot. So under the base of your big toe, the wee toe and the heel. So spread the weight equally through both feet, that we're not standing on our dominant leg. I know personally I tend to stand on this left leg most of the time, but you need to try and spread the weight here through both. Bring that weaker leg, lazy leg, whatever you want to call it on, bring it on a wee bit, try and use the muscles that we're supposed to be using. So from here, the feet hip width apart, weight spread equally between them, slight softness in your knees. So we're not locked up straight at the knees, there's a wee slight softness there, we're still standing tall, not bending your knees, just take the lock off really. And then hands on your hips, roll the pelvis forward, roll back, roll forward, roll back. So even if you did the last block, it's always good to recap on these to make sure we're doing them well. Find that neutral pelvis. So whatever neutral is for you, don't want to be rolling the pelvis back. Don't want it to roll forward, it should be just sitting quite level, like that bucket of water that I've talked about before. Tipping water out the front, tipping water out the back. Find that neutral position. Keep the water filled up. Okay. Brace in, so at that position there, keeping the pelvis level, the belly button's pulled in slightly. You should feel those deep core muscles engaged here, just fingertips just in an inch from your hip bones and down an inch. Feel that wee bit of tightness there in that muscle. Not squeezing as tight as you can, but you should feel it switched on all the same. Then we'll roll our shoulders up and back and around behind us. Excuse me. Feel that lengthening through the neck already here, hopefully. So start to draw the shoulder blades down in your back. So your shoulder blades are sitting up here in your back. Well, we want to pull them down in towards each other, not having them winged out to the side. If you're in this position, if you're at a computer or driving and that, your shoulder blades is just going to tend to open up, and we want to keep them in here where we're giving our upper body nice stability and strength. So keep the shoulder blades down and back. Look for that wee double chin kind of feeling where we're lengthening it, so as the head jumping forward, pull the chin back and you'll see here, you should feel it straight away lengthening the neck. Okay, we'll hold that tall position, so get that feeling here of like being a puppet in a string where we're just hanging long, straight as possible. Okay, so belly button braced quite tight. Hands on the hips gives you a nice guide to make sure the pelvis isn't twisting and turning. So hands on your hips, lift the heel off the floor, so all the weight starts to come onto one leg, but we want to avoid a big shift to one side. So you might lean over a wee bit, but we want to avoid this knee. See, when I go to lift this leg here, I want to avoid the stand knee collapsing in or the pelvis shifting down to one side. Keep that nice and level, strong through the standing leg. Okay, so stand in that tall stance, lift your, I think it's showing you that's my left heel, that's my right heel. We'll lift one heel off the floor. Alright, so if everybody could lift the right heel off the floor, brace tight, and draw that knee up in front and back down. So to draw the knee up, you feel yourself having to squeeze a wee bit tighter in that standing leg through the left glute. Want to keep that knee drawn up until you feel the hip flexor here at the top of the very top of your thigh starting to kick into action. So squeeze up the very top. While we're doing this, we're still staying tall, engaged at the tummy, and we're not letting our shoulders tense up. That's good. Let's keep that leg up now. Brace tight through the tummy. And what we'll try here, very challenging, is we're going to try a heel raise in the standing leg. So press up. Hopefully you'll do it better than me. I've always struggled with this one. Press up into that wee heel raise. Press up, keeping everything else engaged, still holding the same posture. And relax. Alright, so we'll shake out the legs from here. Chin towards the chest. We're going to take a roll down, big exercise in Pilates to make sure we're doing it right. Try not to push out through the bum and try not to bend the knees too much. So in that same tall stance we started with, we're going to fold the spine over in itself, so bring the head forward. Tip forward, and then the neck starts to follow, the upper back starts to follow that. Just slowly rolling over in itself, keeping the belly button pulled in slightly. Let's hang here at the bottom. So you're not looking out in front, just checking through bad habits again. You're not looking out in front to see what's around you. Just keep the head down, don't be so nosy. Relax the shoulders, let go through your back. Nice deep breaths as well. We'll pull in at the tummy, the same way we roll down one vertebra at a time. We're going to stack it up from the tailbone up, so build it up like building blocks. Just stack the spine up tall. And relax, we'll take that tall position again. Take a wee second, not going through everything again, but spread the weight equally through both feet, soft knees, engage core, shoulders down and back, chin tucked back slightly. Lift your left heel off the floor this time. Keeping the pelvis neutral, keep the core engaged, standing leg working hard here. So we're bringing that knee right up in front till you feel the hip flexor kick into action. We're going to keep it up this time. Keep it up, take a wee second, zip up the tummy, strong through the glute. Take a wee second to get your balance. We're going to press up in the heel raise. Pushing yourself up and down, staying tall. And relax. Alright, so we'll relax anytime I lose balance. Alright, so soften the knees again, back into that stance, taking another roll down. Leave it nice and free in our back, just what you want there. It's Saturday morning, nice and easy. Nice deep breaths again, just let go into that wee stretch. Pull up a little bit. I want you to roll the spine up tall to the top. And relax. Okay, so from here, feet still hip width apart. I'm going to soften our knees. I'll just come forward a wee bit. Soften your knees, push your bum out. And we're looking for that length from tailbone to the top of the head. So we're not rounding over. Keep the chin tucked in slightly. Belly button zipped up tight. This is probably the easiest position to let go with the core and take that dip in the lower back. We'll pull the belly button in, try and keep the neutral spine, neutral pelvis. Okay, from here, keep the weight through your right foot. We'll lift the left heel off the floor and reach it out behind. Just touching the toes on the floor. So at that point there, it should be a nice long straight line from your left heel up through the hip, up to the shoulders. Nice long straight line. Bring that foot back in again and back out. So the rest of your body stays still. You're not moving back and forward like this. And you're not swinging the leg back and forth. You're just reaching it out straight and bending the knee to bring it in again. Let's keep going with that. And if you're comfortable, of course, keep the foot hovering off the floor. So if you've already been through the first block and you know all these progressions, just jump straight into them, please. Next time we keep that leg out, whether it's on the floor or balancing, it doesn't matter, we're going to keep it there. Brace tight through the tummy, strong through the standing leg. We're going to keep your back long and straight, but lower the chest over towards the floor. At the same time, we're lifting the leg behind. So if your chest lowers an inch, your leg lifts an inch, we're working together. One long straight plank there from your heel up to the shoulders. Work to whatever position you feel you can and hold it. Just hold it. I'm away here, you hold it. If you lose balance like me, reset it up. Work through the phase again. Slowly return that knee up through the middle and back up to that tall stance again. Okay, shake out the legs. Another roll down before we change sides. Chin towards the chest. Roll down, relax, feeling freer and freer with these already, hopefully. Pull up and in at the tummy, just roll up to the top. And relax. Okay, I'm just going to turn around. You don't need to, but we're going to lift our left heel off the floor. Or sorry, what did we do there? We'll lift our right heel off the floor this time. I'll just stay where we are. So soften your knees, push the tailbone out, chin tucked in slightly, belly button pulled in. Lifting your right heel off the floor this time as we reach it out behind. And back in, reach it out, and back in. And again, if you're comfortable, if you're not moving the rest of your body, if you've the core engaged, and you feel okay with the balance, keep your foot hovering off the ground rather than touching the floor each time. Remember, if you're just starting into it, there's no problem in touching the floor each time. Concentrate on doing these moves well, rather than just making them look harder for the sake of it. Let's keep the leg out behind now, so we're pushing out through the heel, we're pulled in at the tummy, long straight line from the heel up to the shoulder. And slowly lower the chest over, keeping the pelvis neutral so we don't want the hips screwing up to one side. Stand square with the floor now as we come over. Only work as far as you feel you can. Pulling at the tummy, support the lower back. Slowly bring that knee up through the middle and relax and shake out the legs. It's good. A wee bit wobbly there this morning, must be that beer I had last night. I'll know for next week. Okay, so feet a bit hip width apart, chin towards the chest. Don't know how the likes of Claire does it there, Wayne every Friday night and then I'm doing Pilates every Saturday morning. Machine. Pull up and into the tummy. And take a really nice deep stretch now through the hamstring before we start to progress things a wee bit more. So bring your right leg out in front slightly with the knee soft. Going to keep your back leg straight. Okay, so that back leg straighten it out behind you. Okay, so slight softness, slight bend in this front knee. The roll downs that we've been doing before, we're going to try and keep our back long, as said this time, and fold over. So the back stays long as we fold over. Pull in at the tummy. Hold that position now. You might feel a really deep stretch here already. If you feel okay there, taking that front knee, try and straighten it back. Feel a much deeper stretch right through the back of your thigh. Pulling at the tummy or else your lower back will take the strain. Let's soften that knee in front again. Strong to the top. Good. Let's just change sides. So left leg in front this time, knee bent slightly. Back leg straight with the weight spread pretty much between both feet. As we come into this move here, try not to let the hips screw around. They'll want to turn around to this open side. Try and keep them straight forward. So we'll fold over, long straight back, folding over here from the hips. Your back stays long, straight, still pulled up and in at the belly button. So again, you might feel a stretch already, a really deep stretch. You might just feel it starting. If you feel it starting there, that's probably far enough to go. And we'll try and straighten that knee back if you can. Don't fight it. Just working at the start of discomfort. You're not looking for pain. Soften that knee, strong to the top. And if you're not already on your mat, we'll come back to the mat and take another roll down. So stand at the edge of your mat, chin towards the chest, roll down through the spine again. It's hang here at the bottom. Soften our knees, come right out onto the floor. We're coming into that wee plank position again, the wee box plank. If you feel comfortable with that box plank, lifting the knees an inch off the floor, bring your hands a hand length further in front. We'll be coming out to our extended position. So tuck in at the tailbone again, belly button pulled up and in, shoulders back away from your ears. Lift your knees an inch off the floor. Hold there for a wee breath in. Feel the core engage, really multiply that, just pull in really tight as we go to press forward with your breath out. Hold it there, wee breath in to hold it. And breathe out as we come back, pull back through the hips and tummy. Holding that position with the knee an inch off the floor. Breath in to hold it. And breathe out to press forward again. So to press forward, we need to really double down on how hard we're working through the tummy. Don't let the back arch down. Pull back again through the hips. Back into that hover position. Working through those two positions. Just work through it at your own time. We'll come back again one more time. Set the knees down. Sit back long onto the heels again, but this time keeping your hips nice and still. So don't let them sway side to side. Keep them still, walk your hands, both hands long as far as possible around to one side. So if you're taking both hands around to the right, you feel a lovely stretch up the left hand side of your back. Let's come across the other side with both hands. relax, okay? Walk the hands back towards our knees. Curl your toes in towards you. Walk the hands back towards the knees and lift back up into that roll down position. Let's hang here. Let go, just take a few breaths just to relax into that stretch again. Me off the camera. Just pull up and in at the tummy. And relax. Okay, stand up nice and tall again. We'll take a wee second to find that tall stance, strong posture. Avoid letting that pelvis roll forward. So when we go into the scooter pose again, if you start here with the hips roll forward, you're just going to feel a lot of strain across the lower back. Okay, would want to feel that neutral pelvis, tailbone tucked in slightly. So weight spread equally through both feet. I'm going to add a wee bit more movement through this here now, but we did the knee raise already. We did that scooter pose already. Wherever you were finding it challenging, so if you got to here and you felt you couldn't go any higher without losing balance, that's where you work to now, okay? So that's where you work to. If you found in the knee raise that you were struggling with balance here, that you were losing posture, if you're coming to one side, for example, just go as far as you feel you can. Just get used to holding your weight in one leg with the core engaged. So work in your range, okay? So soften the knees, push the bum out. We'll go with our left leg first here. Take your left heel off the floor. Brace in through the tummy. Keep the pelvis neutral, alright, so we don't want to start in a twist around. Core engaged. Bring the left heel off the floor and reach it out long behind. Okay? And slowly tipping over the chest and lifting that leg as much as you feel you can. Only go to whatever point you feel you can. If you come right over, that's fine, great for you. Just make sure the core's engaged. If you can't do that, that's fine as well. Just if it's an inch off the floor and you're getting stronger on that right leg, that's all we're looking for. Pulling in the tummy. Bring that knee up through the middle. Same knee, same left leg. Bring it up through the middle into that knee raise. And again, if you lose balance here, just bring it up and down an inch or two. You don't have to stay at the top. Brace through the tummy. So our pelvis should still be in that neutral position. Shoulders down and back, core engaged, strong through the standing leg. Hold there for another second. Still with the left leg, take it out behind us again. All the way out into that scooter pose. We're starting to soften the standing leg a wee bit. And we're out into that scooter pose. Lift the leg and lower the chest as much as you feel you can. So depending on your range and where you're able to balance, you want to challenge that a wee bit, but don't lose control of it completely. But depending on what you're able to work to, we're going between those two positions. So whatever those two are for you, wherever you can raise your heel to, and wherever you can go back into that scooter pose, just keep going between the two in your own time. Standing leg starting to burn up a wee bit here. If you lose balance, you come back to 2 feet and reset properly. Go through the process to get reset properly. See, that's nearly enough. My air. And return both feet to the floor, shake out the legs. Alright, so rather than giving the legs a wee break here, we're just going to go again. Lift up into the heel raise, arms up in front, shoulders relaxed. Let's bend the knees. Keeping the knees hip width apart here. We're going to hold the wee squat position almost at the bottom. Just go to your thighs are pretty much parallel with the floor. Core still engaged, pulled in that wee bit. It's good. Squeeze the muscles on the backside, squeeze these thighs as well, pressing hard to the top, heels on the floor, and relax. We'll take a wee roll down before we change legs. Chin towards the chest, roll down into the stretch, let go at the bottom again. Pull up into the tummy, roll all the way up to the top. Find that tall posture again, this time keeping we'll soften our knees, push the bum out, belly button brace. Keeping your left foot on the floor this time, extend the right leg out behind you. So we're going from here, whatever position you feel you can, up to that knee raise at the front. So brace through the tummy. If you want to go ahead of me, please feel free. If you're with me here, it's just lifting the right heel off the floor, lifting it as much as you feel you can lower the chest at the same time while staying in control. Your hip bones are square with the mat, not turning away around to one side. Let's bring that same knee, the right knee, up through the middle. In a really tall, strong stance. Slowly return, reaching out, bending the standing leg to come back down into that wee scooter pose, lifting the leg and lowering the chest as much as you feel you can. Slowly return that knee up through the middle again, coming up into that knee raise at the front. If you're in a different time frame from me here, if you're a wee bit ahead or slightly behind, that's fine. Work with control. Turn that leg out behind again. Strong through the standing leg now, it's starting to get tired. Pull up and into the tummy. Bring that knee up through the middle one more time. Squeeze the standing leg, squeezing into the glutes. Find that tall posture, tummy pulled in. And relax both heels on the floor again. Float the arms up in front, up onto the wee heel raise. We'll lower down into that squat again. So keep the heels off the floor, bend the knees. Lower ourselves down into the squat position, hold at the bottom. Hopefully you all did well with that. Hopefully you weren't watching my demonstration. Squeeze in the back side. Press all the way to the top. Heels on the floor and relax. Good. Okay, back to the edge of your mat again. Taking another roll down. Chin towards the chest. And a roll all the way to the bottom. Hang again, let go in the back. Bend the knees. Come right down onto the floor. Good. Okay, coming onto your back side. So we touched on the half rollbacks and rolling like a ball. I say this every time, but if you're not comfortable doing the rolling like a ball, if you feel you just flatten out, I'll show you what I mean here. If you feel like you just flatten out in your back and you're having to kick yourself up or throw yourself up with the neck, taking a step back into the half rollbacks, which works from here. Stack the spine up tall, hands behind the thigh, roll back through the pelvis, the lower back starts to curve down, and then pull in at the tummy and lift the chest up nice and proud. So if you find it too hard to do the rolling like a ball, please drop the pride a wee bit and get better at this one first, getting that movement through the spine. You'll feel that if you're tight here through the lower back and mid back, that might be where you're getting caught rolling like a ball. That'll bring it on a wee bit, feel that nice stretch, that nice movement through the spine. Okay, so just drop the pride, take it a step back if you need to. We're going to try the rolling like a ball here if you're comfortable with it, comfortable-ish with it. Hands at the top of your knees, toes pointed, same curve into your spine, so roll back onto your tailbone, pull the belly button in, and chin tucks in as well, so your eyes are down towards your belly button or down through the thighs. Roll back to your shoulder blades and back up. Balancing if you can, touch the toes on the floor if you need to. So you're just balancing for that wee second to show that you're in control of it. I'm going to keep this going. If you're comfortable with the rolling like a ball, take it into the seal instead. That's feeding the hands through the inside of your thighs and holding on to the outside of your ankles. So that type of position there, soles your feet together. So if you're in the half roll back or rolling like a ball, keep going for another few seconds. So for the seal, it's the same curve through the spine, roll the shoulder blades, balance at the top, clap the feet 3 times. You can make the seal noise if you want there. I know Lee, if he's watching, likes doing the wee seal noise. He'll be so proud of himself when he balances. and relax. Okay, hold that tall seated position again. And with the legs out straight, chin towards the chest, similar roll down to what we do in a standing position. Just roll the spine over itself, roll down into the stretch, open up through the back. Don't force it, just let go. The muscles in your neck and shoulders hang into that wee stretch. This has to be the quickest class yet. Okay, so we're back up into the seated position again. Hold on to the thighs if you like. Allow yourself to roll back comfortably. And as we roll back one vertebra at a time, it should automatically feel like we've that lovely length through the spine. It should be really nice and relaxing. We're not tensed up at this stage, hopefully. Keep the shoulders still away from your ears, but think about the shoulder blades coming together down into your lower back. Alright, so allow the shoulder blades to sink down into your back, sink down into the mat. Okay, so feet about hip width apart, spread the weight equally through both feet. We're just going to roll up into one bridge, so roll the pelvis back towards you, that same way you roll, but forward and back. And then when you're ready, roll it back. Pull it away, squeeze at the back side. Let's roll the spine back down, one vertebra at a time. Okay, if you find that bridge challenging, if you really feel it hitting the hamstrings and backside hard, if you have lower back trouble, you mightn't want to try the single leg one. Okay, I think we did it Thursday as well, but if you want to keep both feet on the floor, please do. Okay, but if you're comfortable with it, we're going to lift the left knee up in the tabletop position. All the weight's in your right leg. Try to keep the hips in that neutral position, keep them square with each other. So whenever we roll back, we don't want the left hip dropping down to the side, so we don't want to be collapsing over to one side. Keep the hips rolling up together. So pressing all the way through that right foot, roll the pelvis back towards you, feel the back side lift, tailbone lifts as your spine rolls up one vertebra at a time. We'll hold that bridge at the top. If you're comfortable here, you can extend the leg out straighter, make it that wee bit more challenging. You should feel that all through the right hamstring and right glute. And if you feel it more in the right thigh in front and the quads, your foot needs to be a wee bit further in front. Inch your foot forward if that's the case. Tummy tight, pelvis still that same square neutral position, not tipping down to the left. Bend the left knee back in again. Keep it up here at the top, keep it up in that tabletop position as we roll the spine down one vertebra at a time. And find a neutral pelvis again where the core's engaged. Right hand in behind the head, fingertips just in behind the head. Keep the elbow pointed away out towards the side. Don't swing it up over your body. Keep the elbow out to the side. Roll your right shoulder blade up off the floor towards that left hip. So we're keeping the elbow pointed out to the side. Avoid that temptation to swing across the body like this. Keep it rolled out. Concentrate on the right shoulder blade coming right up off the floor. Good, we're going to bring both hands just back down by your sides, chin towards your chest, roll the shoulders up off the floor, and lift your hands a few inches as well. So as the belly button pull down and in, we'll pulse the hands up and down for 2, 3, 4, 5, breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 10, reach long, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 20, we're only going to 50 here, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 30. 5, out, 4, 40, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 50. Good, roll the head and shoulders back down. We're going to bring the left foot back to the floor, brace tight through the tummy. Bring the right leg up, keep the core engaged, roll the hips back towards you. We're back up into that bridge again. So we're avoiding letting the hips collapse to one side or drop towards the floor. Want to keep that strong neutral pelvis, holding on one leg if you can. If you're still in both feet here, that's fine. Belly button pulled in tight, back side really working hard, especially through that left side. If you're comfortable here, you can extend the leg out straight, the right leg out straight. Bring the right leg back in again. So the shin still up in that tabletop position. Roll the spine back down. Find that neutral position again, so don't go to the point where our back arches way up off the floor. Find that neutral position. So there might be a slight arch in the lower back, but we want the core engaged. Left hand in behind the head, the fingertips behind your head, elbow pointed away out to the left. Don't swing up across the body like this. That's the temptation. We're going to peel that left shoulder blade up off the floor, fold it up onto your right hip. Don't pull at the neck either, we're just supporting the weight of your head. You can add to that one as well if you like, the right hand, the free arm. You can keep a few inches off the floor and try and reach long past the heels or toes here. Just good, relax the head and shoulders back on the floor, both hands back down to your sides. Chin towards the chest, roll up the upper back again, pull them down at the belly button at the same time. And we'll raise the arms a few inches, breathing in for 2, 3, 4, 5. Turn the hands, 2, 3, 4, 10. Breathe in, 2, 4, 5. Out, 2, 3, 4, 20. 3, 4, 5. Out, 2, 30. 2, 5. Out, 2, 3, 4, 40. Last 10. 4, 5. Out, 2, 3, 4, 50. Draw down in the belly button again. Just keep that right leg up. Fingertips in behind the head. Brace as tight as we can. Make sure your lower back doesn't jump up off the floor. And bring the left leg up as well. So we have both legs now up in that tabletop position. Roll the right shoulder blade up off the floor and extend the right leg at the same time. Bring it back in and lower the right shoulder down. Lift the left shoulder up off the floor. Extend the left leg. No need to go much quicker than that. If you're happy enough with that pattern now, you can go slightly quicker, but focus on keeping that lower back pretty much in that same neutral position. Take a wee glance at your belly button as you roll up. We want to make sure the tummy's not doming up. Try and draw the belly button down and in. Just keep that going just a few seconds longer. Time check. We'll keep both knees up in that tabletop position. Roll the upper back up off the floor. Reach long with the fingertips. If you're comfortable here for the 100 exercise, try and straighten the legs up a wee bit, toes pointed. Lower them down slightly without letting your lower back arch up. We're doing 50 more here to finish. So you don't have to have the legs up there. You can keep them here if you like, or even one on the floor. We'll pulse the arms up and down for 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out. 2, 4, 10. In. 4, 5. Out. 2, 3, 4, 20. Just going to 50 again here. 4, 5. Out. 2, 3, 4, 30. 4, 5. Out. 2, 3, 4. 3, 4, 5. Out. 2, 3, 4, 50. Don't slop down out of position here. We're going to bend the knees back in. Roll the shoulders back to the floor. Core still engaged. If one foot comes to the ground, other foot comes to the ground. Nice and relaxed. Well done. Going to take the two hands in behind your right thigh. Gently pull back into a slight hamstring stretch and then straighten the leg up. Okay, so we'll keep the toes pointed towards the roof. Draw back into that hamstring stretch slightly further. And from here, once you feel a gentle stretch in the back of the thigh, curl your toe down hard towards you and you'll feel it shoot up into the calf as well. Point the toe away and curl it back down. Point away and curl back down. Good, we're going to keep that leg up here, bend the knee and bring the right foot, the leg that's up, the right foot onto your left knee. Right, so you can see that too clearly. Onto your left knee, bring the left leg back towards you now too. You can hold onto it with your two hands if you like and just draw back. Feel a nice stretch through the back side here on the right cheek. That's the technical term. That's good. Just draw it back a wee bit further. Don't force it too much. The right knee, if you want, you can sort of press it away from you. Try and take that right knee further away from your shoulders. A deeper stretch there. And relax. Okay, we'll hug both knees in towards the chest. Just a wee gentle hug. I'm going to hold there, keeping the knees back towards you, slightly further back than your hips. Right, so we're not straight up this time, slightly further back. Hands out to the sides, just a wee gentle roll side to side. Okay, if you have lower back trouble, these should be quite nice stretches, but if that feels too challenging there, you can do the exact same stretch with both feet on the floor. Just making it that wee bit easier, and don't force it. Just sort of go with the stretch and breathe through it. Good, okay. We'll bring the left leg up, holding the hands in behind your left thigh. Draw it back towards you. And then curl the toe down hard. Feel that shoot up into the calf. Point the toe away again. Curl down. Get a nice wee sort of stretch or flossing at the nerve here, right through the back of the leg. That's good. We're going to bend that knee. Place the foot onto your other knee. And then bring the leg back up. So this time it's the right leg coming back towards you. 2 hands in behind your thigh. Just gently pull back. Nothing too forced here. Especially if you have an old tight arse knee. Don't squeeze too much. Just take that left knee out to the side and just press it gently away. Just lever it away. You can even use the hand if you want. Feel that deeper stretch. And relax, okay? Hug both knees into the chest again. And take it back up in the seated position, whatever way you like. And that's us. That class absolutely flew in. I had so much more planned to get through, but that'll have to do us for this morning. I'm not going to apologise again, but good to get the technology issues sorted. No good with Facebook and stuff. I don't know what happened in that last group, but hopefully that'll be us up and running now for the next 5 weeks now. On Christmas week, I'll go on the Monday and Wednesday most likely. That's the 21st and 23rd, I think, rather than doing it on Christmas Eve and St. Stephen's Day or Boxing Day. Okay, so that week it'll still be up for catch up, so you can do it whatever time suits you. Hopefully you all enjoyed that. It's a good class there, and any feedback at all, same as always, any feedback, please let me know. Anything that could be done better, anything particular you want to work on, just shout away. Anything that you're finding difficulty with, I can put up a couple of wee tips for certain exercises throughout the week outside of the class if you like. If there's anything that you just feel you can't get, just let me know. Alright, okay, thank you.